on the next episode of Sips, Suds, and Smokes.
Our sip segments are all about distilled spirits, wine, tea, and coffee, and anything else you can drink. So this is a wine episode, so here are the wines we're going to discuss. So we have the Cade Sauvignon Blanc 2023. Woohoo! We have the Chappellet 2023 Signature Chenin Blanc. We have the Calling 2022 River Valley Pinot Noir. The Plumpjack Napa Valley Merlot 2022.
Yummy.
The Chappellet Signature Napa Valley Cabernet Sauvignon 2021. Sequoia Grove Napa Valley Cabernet Sauvignon 2021. Sequoia Grove Napa Valley Rutherford Tonella Vineyard 2019. And the Sequoia Grove Napa Valley Rutherford Bench Reserve Cabernet Sauvignon Winemaker Series 2019.
We'll be right back after this break. Brought to you almost live from the Dude in the Basement Studios. Why? Because that's where the good stuff is. It's Sips, Suds, and Smokes with your smoking host, the good old boys. And now it's sippin' time.
Hey, yes, it's sipping time again. Welcome to this Sips episode where everything good in life is worth discussing. Hey, I've been drinking.
Sipping.
Yeah.
We've been sipping.
Keep on sipping, man.
We are the best thing on at 2 a.m.
Are we really, though? You know, I was saying, I think last show we recorded, I was watching Apple TV Severance, the new show episode, the new season. But I was up at 2 a.m. last night, and I don't remember seeing anything good on. I think we are the best thing on.
Well, I don't know. A couple weeks ago, I was watching Landman at 2 a.m., and I'm sorry, Billy Bob kicks everybody's rear end.
Yeah. What were you watching?
Landman.
I don't know that one.
Yes, I just started watching
haven't
it.
seen Landman?
good.
No. What is the greatest show ever?
Yes.
Oil Man, Billy Bob Thornton.
Yeah.
That's all I've got to
The
say.
greatest thing Tyler Sheridan has ever done. Forget
what
Yellowstone,
what
the
service?
greatest thing.
What service am I watching this on?
I have no idea.
It's on Peacock.
Yeah, I have like 27 services.
yeah?
You know, I actually went and paid for Peacock this year because I want to see the SNL 50th
Is
anniversary.
it Peacock or Paramount Plus?
I think it's Paramount.
Peacock.
Yeah, it's
Paramount, I have
Paramount.
because Star Trek. I have to have Paramount.
It's on one of those paid platforms.
All I know is peacocks are meaner than hell. Stay away from them. They will tear you up.
They're horrible. I remember the first time I
mean.
heard a peacock.
They got claws and
I
they will
know.
tear you up.
And at 4 a.m. in New Delhi, they are outside your window screaming at you.
But I will tell you one thing: coming from redneck,
Swear to God.
you can only get this from a redneck. The eggs are delicious from the peahens.
I've never tasted peahens. eggs.
Greatest egg salad you've ever had in your life.
You are a weird man.
I'm a redneck through and through. Well,
I've lived in India. I'd never had a peacock egg.
well, you
Or
got
peahen egg.
We got brown necks there. It's different to rednecks.
They're not sharing them with you, huh?
Yeah, I'm not sharing them with you.
I got better mangoes.
Trust
than
me,
you
as
ever had.
hard as they are,
Better
as
guava
hard
you
as they
ever
are
had.
to get, I'm not sharing them with you. To heck with you. Well, our sip segments are all about distilled spirits, wine, tea, and coffee, and anything else you can drink.
When's the last time we
Peacock
did
egg
a
salad,
tea
peahen
and,
egg salad.
tea and coffee episode?
Oh, they do
Peafowl.
coffee episodes all the
Peafowl.
time. Yeah.
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 No, they're online only. I don't think they're on the radio.
No, they've done them on the radio. Absolutely. 100%. Yeah. So here the wine.
Those are the guys up in Memphis doing it
Yeah.
with us.
Nashville.
Nashville, whatever.
Wrong place.
Redneck country, whatever they're from.
So this is wine episode. So here are the wines we're going to discuss. So we have the Cade Sauvignon Blanc 2023.
Woohoo!
We have the Chappellet 2023 Signature Chenin Blanc. We have the Calling 2022 River Valley Pinot Noir. The Plumpjack Napa Valley Merlot 2022.
Yummy.
The Chappellet Signature Napa Valley Cabernet Sauvignon 2021. Sequoia Grove Napa Valley Cabernet Sauvignon 2021. Sequoia Grove Napa Valley Rutherford Tonella Vineyard 2019. And the Sequoia Grove Napa Valley Rutherford Bench Reserve Cabernet Sauvignon Winemaker Series 2019. So
Very nice. What about the co-host today? Would you like to introduce our co-host?
I don't want to introduce
It's all about ego with you, Maury.
Yeah, it's all about you, isn't it? It's all about Maury.
If you didn't know he was a doctor, now you know he's a doctor.
All right, fine.
I just figured the
surgeon.
brown boy would be
You
complaining
didn't know he
since
was
you
a
gave more
surgeon.
time to the wine.
You don't give him
to the
surgeon.
hosts.
I'll introduce the co-host.
Give him a surgeon.
What? He cuts stuff.
Oh,
So-
I don't think. What do you call it? A bris is a surgery.
Yeah, it's not really surgery.
Well, you haven't had one, have you?
I have.
No, if you can, if you can do it in the living room, it's not really a surgery.
No, but others, other than Indians, we require an operating room, not a living room.
Right. So what's the difference between God and a surgeon? God doesn't have a white
doesn't
coat.
like-
Yeah, there you go.
God doesn't think he's a doctor.
Yeah.
All right, so there's good old boy Justin,
Good morning. Pleasure to be here.
and apparently left out Maury.
Why, thank you, Bob, for the introductions.
Was it MDFACS?
Sorry to impose.
He's got 27 letters after his LMNOPWQRZ / O with an umlaut over it and a little house and all that. So, and good old boy Harm.
I didn't finish my PhD and I dropped out of med school. So there you go.
They are true facts.
They're true.
100% true.
So, whatever. I could have had more letters.
But you own a liquor store.
I own a liquor store now.
Yeah. Well, at this rate, the only letters he's going to have after his name R.I.P. So, yeah.
We all get that one.
Yeah.
We all get that one.
Yeah, looking at you, yours is closer to the rest of us.
Oh, we're off the rails.
Exactly. So
Yes, we're completely off
that's
the rails.
pretty much this show.
How many
Yeah.
minutes in and we haven't even talked about the first spirit?
Or the
5
sips
minutes and
ratings.
We're not talking
54
about any
seconds
spirits
in.
today.
Sips ratings.
So let's have Justin
zip
do our
through
sips
them.
ratings against our better judgment.
Come on, zip along, young man.
One sip. Give me a glass of water to wash out my mouth.
Maury, you do number 2.
Water. Bring water. Bring water.
2 sips. What is this? Nice. But what else do you have?
Well, isn't that nice?
Against better advice. 3 sips. Very interesting. What was this again?
Interesting.
I can see your mother shaking her head in shame.
My mom's going to shank me or shiv me when I get home.
I can see your mother looking at you going, oh, hell no.
Yeah.
That's not my kid. All right, so
So you're up, Bob.
4 sips. Let's keep this a secret to ourselves. Pour me another.
That's classified.
5 sips. Oh my, I was unaware anything could be this good. Pour me another.
Yes.
Nice.
All right, so that brings us to our first wine, and we're going to have Harm tell us about that one.
I'll try to be quick. Cade
That's
Sauvignon
what
Blanc.
she said.
My wife,
He always wins the race.
I win the race.
He's always first. Unfortunately for her.
Cade Sauvignon Blanc 2023 is 13.8% ABV, 84% Sauvignon Blanc, 12% Sauvignon Blanc Muscat, 2% Semillon, and 2% Viognier. 8,886 cases made. Fermentation was carried out with a combination of stainless steel and tanks and drums, 87%. French oak barrels, 10% new. 11 different strains of yeast were used to ferment the juice. Fermentation lasted for an average of 20 days at an average temperature of 56 degrees Fahrenheit, with no malolactic fermentation occurring. The wine aged in stainless steel tanks and barrels for 5 months, and the barrels and stainless steel drums were aged surely without stirring the lees. And there's Alan Rickman.
So good.
That's what
So
I was
good.
trying to do and utterly failed.
Well, that's why I had to
You're
stop
not
you.
nearly as cool as Alan Rickman.
No, I'm not.
So the color is a beautiful pale straw. The nose, it is very green. It's green cut grass, white flowers, and there's a foxy funk from the Muscat, which I'm not a real fan of. On the palate, I get green apple skins, lemon, yellow grapefruit, but it had a really nice mouthfeel. This is not the style of Sauvignon Blanc I prefer generally. It has a medium long finish. It's these California stainless steel barrel thing where they use, I think they use too much barrel. And this one, even though it's only 10% new oak, it's not my style. It's not my personal preference.
It's quite pungent. Oh, yeah.
It's okay.
It's a
Bob,
formidable
You know,
scent.
Harm, if I may, I was agreeing with you right up until you got to the last couple sentences. I think you nailed it on the palate. I think you nailed it on the nose. For me, all those notes were there, but it was very one note. It was not very interesting and complex or layered in terms of the palate. And I did come back, as you said, and I do appreciate the nice mouthfeel, which I didn't. But I just found that for me, it was just too one note, very heavily citrus based, green apple, the tart grapes you spoke about, and not my style. But I wasn't so much offended as you were by the barreling.
It's not offending to me. It's just not my style.
Right.
I really like that New Zealand style, and I like which is all about the fresh fruit and the tropical notes. And I also love the French style from, let's say, Loire Valley. What do you call it? Why am I drawing a blank? Because I've been drinking too much wine. French Sauvignon Blanc, Loire, phenomenal quality. Bob, what is it?
I've been drinking as well, so I'm not helping you.
Well, anyway.
The blind leading the blind today.
Yeah, I know.
Justin, what'd you think of this wine?
So the color was clear. The nose was butter, pears,
There's no butter at all.
and French
No
oak.
mellow.
Well, fine. I smelled it.
Did you really?
In the beginning,
There's a little salinity. There's not butter to me.
it kind of faded off, the butter. But in the beginning, it was definitely cougar juice butter. With or without the pharma.
I find that it's not, you
Sancerre.
must have forgot.
That's what I was trying to think of. Sancerre.
You probably didn't rinse your glass because this was not cougar juice with butter. I'm sorry. I've got to disagree.
We didn't have cougar juice in the last show either. But anyway, the palate was sweet pears, mushrooms, and tin.
I'll give you the sweet pear, but I'm reaching for the mushroom. I don't know where you're going with that.
It just was the second thing that hit me. Also faded off over time. And at the end, I got fruit finish.
Very
Other words I wrote, I can't read now.
Fruit cocktail.
Yeah.
It's kind of fruit cocktail-y,
Yeah.
but not sweet.
What, that little cup that you peel the foil off of?
Yes.
Yeah, that's it.
Yes, that cup. Yeah.
Is there fruit any other way?
Not that I've ever had in my life, no.
Not that my parents ever
Yeah,
bought
our
me.
parents said that's the only
Yeah,
fruit.
that's it.
Otherwise, you have this like skin or stuff. And
Yeah.
this is ready
You
to eat.
don't want those seeds.
No.
No, I grew up eating fresh fruit constantly. I freaking love fresh. And right now,
And look what good it did you.
Yeah,
I know.
because your mother left you
Made me
outside and
diabetic.
let you in the house.
no, the blackberries were BOGO at Publix. I've been eating blackberries and raspberries. Oh, so good.
You got to go easy on the fruit.
I know. They're bad
son.
for the diabetics.
They're bad for your...
Bad.
Shh. Eat more fruit. You should eat lots of fruit.
Bob, what do you think about this wine?
Can you rate it, Bob?
We got 30 seconds left.
Very
Commercial.
crisp, very bright. I definitely am. It's a little green on the front palate, but it's definitely in your face. I'm like you. I like more the New Zealand style. So this one's a little bit more up front. But all in all, I'm really, I think, well done. Hey, and we're back, and we were discussing the Cade Cabernet Sauvignon Blanc, or Sauvignon Blanc.
I love the fact that he called it Cabernet Sauvignon Blanc because during the commercial, he broke a glass.
Yep.
This is the first time during a show that somebody's broken a wine glass. And I'm glad it was Bob.
It happens. Such is life. Well, we're going to be giving the Cade Sauvignon Blanc a well-deserved 3 sips.
Interesting.
So that takes us off to our next one. I'm going to have Maury tell us about that.
Why, thank you, Bob. Next, we'll be talking about Chappellet Vineyards, which was founded by Molly and Don Chappellet in 1967. They began construction of their winery on Pritchard Hill the following year. This would be the second new winery in Napa Valley after repeal of Prohibition, and they became the 18th registered member of the Napa Valley Vintners Association. Designed by abstract artist Ed Moses, the winery was built into the landscape and was modeled after the Great Pyramids. Their legendary 1969 Cabernet Sauvignon was awarded 100 points by Robert Parker's Wine Advocate.
They've had many more 100-point wines since then, by the way.
Yes, correct. The first wine today is actually another white. This is the Chappellet 2023 Signature Chenin Blanc. It is 14.1% ABV. The original vines were already producing when Don and Molly purchased the property in the late 1960s. Following a replanting in 2007, they reintroduced their Chenin Blanc as a, quote, signature, unquote, designation with a twist. While our signature Cabernet bears Don Chappellet's name, Molly Chappellet's signature graces our Chenin Blanc label. To add depth and complexity, the 2023 Chenin Blanc was fermented in a combination of neutral French oak barrels and stainless steel tanks. It was harvested October 9th, 2023. The color is a very, very pale straw color. On the nose, wonderful aromas of Meyer lemon, quince, pineapple, nectarine, hints of tropical flowers, honey, clover, a hint of hay, and a very, very slight hint of oak. On the palate, it starts out crisp and elegant. It's balanced. There's a nice acidity. There's plenty of minerality, lots of apricot, orange, honeydew, and just a hint of oak. Again, these were neutral oak barrels, and there's just a hint of oak on there, just enough to give it a really nice balanced style. It's got a medium to long finish. I thought this was really a delicious wine. Not many of us drink a lot of Chenin Blanc, and I would say this being off of one's radar really is something worth considering. Again, I would drink it anywhere you might drink a Sauv Blanc, and I thought it was very enjoyable. I like this very much. Harm, what did you think?
I think you're pretty good with those notes. I don't get as much lemon or pineapple as you got. The tropical fruit's kind of muddled for me. I got a lot of melon, green melon, honeydew, I guess. Orange zest is there, and I get clove, like the spice, clove, not clover. But
no, I didn't get that. But
it's got a nice mouthfeel. I think that's what the barrel is producing. I'm not getting that oak note either. Justin, did you get any of that oak note, or what are those? What do you get?
So in the beginning on the nose, I got soap, but it faded off, and then
I think
lemons.
you're conflating like soap with like lavender.
Could be Fabuloso.
Yeah,
I think Harm, the oak note's mostly gone now. It was early on when we poured it. There was definitely oak, especially when you compared it to the Sauv Blanc.
Because it's neutral oak. To me, it's more the mouthfeel complexity.
Yeah, but I had just a hint of it, and it's really largely blown off.
Okay.
On the palate, I got oak. On the nose, I didn't.
You got the oak on the palate. I don't get that.
It's mostly gone on the
And
palate.
I got white melon on the palate, and the finish was
What's a white melon?
white melon, like
Honeydew.
honeydew.
Honeydew to me is
Very
like
good.
green.
Very good. That's what I meant.
That's a green melon.
And then, on the nose, I got like pineapple, but it was like pineapple at the end of a pina colada after you drank most of it.
I didn't get as much pineapple as Maury he mentioned it right prominently. But it's I guess you're right. It's pina colada.
End of the glass.
End of the glass.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I get you now. I understand where you're coming from now. Okay, go ahead.
That was it.
All right. Bob?
Short and sweet.
I thought it was delicious.
Nobody else got the spice note? No clove for you guys?
I really didn't get
it.
I don't get so much the spice. I get the Myers lemon and the pineapple. There's definitely that tropical fruit on the nose. On the palate, I definitely get the honeydew melon. I get a little bit of a citrus. More for me, it's more leaning toward orange than it is toward lemon.
Okay.
But there's definitely a honeydew on there.
I just can't get over the mouthfeel. I love the mouthfeel of this one.
Oh, it's got a great mouthfeel to it. It coats the tongue, the top, the bottom, the sides. I mean, really well done.
Good astringency without being tannic. Great acidity. So balanced.
Yeah.
I'd give it a higher.
Yeah, I'm inclined. We originally, when it first came out, but I'm thinking it's really
Higher
opened up
rating.
and developed.
Yeah. Well, we're going to be giving the Chappellet 2023 Signature Chenin Blanc a well-deserved 4 sips.
That's classified.
That's a great wine.
So that takes us to our next one. Justin, tell us about that one.
So we're going to talk about The Calling from 2022. It's a River Valley Pinot Noir. It's 14.5%.
Is it Russian River Valley?
Actually, yeah, Russian River Valley. What did I say?
You said, well, he didn't type Russian. He
No, I
left
did.
that out.
I typed.
Did you?
Right there. Or didn't I? I didn't.
You did.
That's okay. So it's
RRV.
Russian River Valley.
It was midnight when I was typing.
And it's 14.7% alcohol by volume.
So fragrant. Sorry. So beautiful. Go ahead.
Aged 11 months and 100% French oak, 30% of it new. And on the nose, I got like maraschino cherry. I got some berries. I got dark, lush fruit. On the palate, there's definitely a Russian River Valley flavor profile, and this hits it squarely in the middle of that. If you were doing this blind, you'd be able to tell it was a Russian River Valley.
Definitely not French in style.
Correct. And lush fruits, and the finish was unremarkable, but this is a very good representative of its
Unremarkable?
style. Unremarkable.
I think it's got
finish.
a long finish. Here,
Yeah.
eat some bread. Eat some bread. Clear your palate. Drink of water, and come back to it.
Okay.
And then we'll see how long that finish is.
I'll talk at the end.
Yeah, Maury.
No, Harm's right. The finish is definitely medium to long. I thought this was a pleasant surprise. I really wasn't expecting a lot. And honestly, the color is a little bit light. It looks a little bit thin, but it's jumping with fruit, both on the nose and on the palate. I thought the palate was lush, was very round. It was very mouth coating. I got also some hints of graphite on the back end. And I just found it to be really pleasant, really balanced, really enjoyable. Just very well done.
Bob? Well, Justin and I met the gentleman pouring this at the New York Wine Experience last October. And it was the end of the night. And, you kind of tend to think, well, maybe I've been drinking. Everything tastes good at that point.
Happens.
But we were over chatting with him. Nicest guy. I can't remember his name. I have his card. But I reached out to him and I said, we would love to do this on the show because this was really singing to me at that point. And I'm glad now to try it because now I know, it wasn't because we were drinking for 3.5 hours. This is really, really tasty.
Of course, today we have been drinking for 3.5 hours.
No, I've been sipping and spitting.
Yeah. So the cherries on this absolutely come through. There's definitely a berry note on this.
There's about a mouthful or two in the spit bucket.
That bucket's got more than a mouthful.
It's so well put together. It's very tight. It's very well defined.
It's so well defined. It's sharp.
It is a prototypical Russian River Valley Pinot Noir.
No, this is so much better than some of the other stuff.
It's a laser beam of Russian River Valley. This is so well done, and I'm glad because again we'd been drinking for 3.5 hours, and I think, well, everything tastes good at the end of the night. No, we were right. This is excellent. This is really, really nice.
So I had the bread, I had the oyster cracker, and the finish is longer now.
Yeah. So
you're
I
right.
got all the things you were
bottle?
saying. I think it's a little bit over extracted because it's not as pale as I like Russian River Valley 100% Pinot Noir to be. I'm wondering if they add like 5% Syrah or something in there, but I don't know. It doesn't taste like it. It's raspberries, baking spices, clove, and nutmeg. A little bit of strawberry. There's a little bit of garrigue coming out. The mouthfeel is just so lush. I don't know what this 11 months in 100% French oak barrels. That's what it's from. That mouthfeel is amazing. The acidity is so balanced. The tannins are. It tastes expensive. I've never heard of this wine. I have no idea what it costs, but it tastes expensive.
It's
I would
Sonoma,
agree with
so
you.
it's not bad.
I'm happy to give you their contact information. So
I will,
you can
if it's available in
provide it
Florida,
to
I will be
your-
carrying this wine.
You can provide it to your customers.
I will be carrying this wine. This is
We
gorgeous.
were shocked. We were really like, wow, this is really good. So
Yeah, it punches well above its price point, I
really?
believe.
Okay.
Again, I don't know what the cost is, but I agree with you, Harm. It tastes sophisticated.
Unless it's over $100, it's value priced.
yeah, I don't believe so.
Sonoma, it's going to be under 100 most of the
Russian
time.
River Valley, so a little bit more.
It's not going to be.
Probably be 80.
I've got $100 Sonoma Russian River Valley points. Depends what you get. There's stuff out there, but people ask for what they can get. It's capitalism, and I would not be surprised to see this at the $100 price point, but I don't know what it costs. I can look it up. It's fantastic. What are we giving it a rating for, Bob?
I don't even want to tell you what most of the places online have it for sale for, but it's in the $20 range.
No way.
I
Nice.
kid you not.
Oh,
So,
that's insane.
yeah. So we're going to be giving the calling 2022 Russian River Valley Pinot Noir a extremely well-deserved 4 sips.
At $20, it should be 6.
20-ish, you know.
20-ish, really?
Well, I'm looking and it's spread around.
It's got to be
so,
different
yeah.
vintages too. You never know.
No, this shows 2022. So, yeah. Right
Wow.
here. So,
Well done, man.
that's going to take us to our next wine, which is from the folks at Plumpjack. So we have the Plumpjack Napa Valley Merlot. So this is the 2022 14.5% ABV. The grapes were cold soaked for 3 to 5 days before fermentation. The fermentation was then allowed to reach maximum temperature of about 90 degrees and pressed off the skins after 10 to 12 days. The wine was then moved into oak barrels and underwent malolactic fermentation. Of the barrels, 67% were new barrels, and the balance was once filled. 92% were French oak Bordeaux barrels, and 8% were American oak barrels. The coopers used include Sylvain, Taransad, Natalie, and Demtois. The Merlot was aged for 18 months before bottling. Let's take a look. The color on this,
Absolutely opaque.
yeah. You can't see through
Ruby?
it. 100%. I mean, just a great
Gorgeous.
color on this.
Clear edges. It's very young.
On the nose. And again, it's a 2022. It's a crime sometimes when we do these shows as to what we have to do.
Killed a baby, Bob. You killed a baby.
I've aerated this 4 times, and it still probably needs more. There's cherries and raspberries. It's like a berry bomb on the tip of the nose. But on the back of the nose, there's a bit of an herbal note to it.
It came out as mint to me, but I don't. It's just kind of changed right now.
A lot of that's blown off.
Yeah.
That greenish vegetal.
On the palate, there's black cherries, dark berries, dark stewed fruit. That herbal nature is still there. There's a little bit of a cocoa to it, like a little bit of a dryness to it.
Yeah, I got that.
The tannins on this are very, very fine, very well defined, very nice. They're not whacking you in the face, but they're 100% there. This is beautiful. Really, really nice. What do you think, Harm?
You didn't say anything that I disagree with, dude. I got the herbal note at first. I have mint and jalapeno, and that's totally blown off. The jalapeno is gone. You said, you got green peppers, Maury?
No, I just said it just had a greenish vegetable.
Yeah,
vegetable
that's gone.
kind
It's
of back,
gone
but
now.
it's gone.
Yeah. Aerate your wines, kids. We did this. He poured through the Venturi and stuff. We've let it sit for a while. Gorgeous cherries and berries, like he said. I got more vanilla as well and lavender. And the spice I got kind of like a hint. I don't know what that spice is. I don't know. Maybe it's a little licorice or something. But it on the palate, it was vanilla and cocoa and herbs and the beautiful fruit. And what you said about the tannins is absolutely right, Bob.
Yeah, it's just it's there, but it's so precisely defined. It's not that wacky over the head tannin.
It's not going to dry your mouth out.
No.
But you can still have a great steak with this.
Yeah.
Maury?
Yeah, no, I agree with you 100% on everything you said. To me, I get a little hint of cedar and cigar box on the palate. In addition to all the things that you guys have mentioned, I think you're spot on with the tannins. I agree with all the dark fruit. I think it's a beautiful wine. And I must admit, we were rewarded
you said it, the cedar's coming out. Yeah.
we have been rewarded with patience, because I admit when this was first poured in my glass, it was closed, it was tight, and
Yes.
it was far
Not
lower
impressive.
on my rating. It was not impressive at all. And with time and with aeration, a couple passes through the Venturi, it's made a world of difference. And again, patience will be rewarded. I love this wine. It's
you
delicious.
could put it in the cellar for 5-10 years, or you could put it through the Venturi a few times. You know,
Yeah,
it's up to you. Justin?
I think
So-
both.
On the nose,
5 or 7 years.
I'd put this away for 10, easy. But I got a good fall Yankee Candle on the nose. That became less intense over time.
He's not wrong. It's for once. I can understand the Yankee Candle reference.
And then right out of the bottle,
You're colluding with my wife.
right out of the bottle, I got potpourri. That faded off. And then I got an intense Christmas fruitcake on the palate. That faded off. Now it's light memory of Christmas fruitcake in February. And on the finish was
Like
light
a
cocoa
lingering
for
burp?
me. Yeah, like a lingering bourbon. Light
I said
cocoa on
lingering
the
burp.
finish. Oh, but I got lingering bourbon, but
Nice.
the lingering burp, maybe that'll come later.
The fruitcake burps.
Yeah.
Is that a show? It's a show. It's a show title.
That's a spin-off.
Fruitcake burps.
That's a whole series.
Well, we're going to give the Plumpjack Napa Valley Merlot 2022 a well-deserved 4 sips. Hold on.
That's classified.
That Merlot is really underrated. People always go for the Plumpjack cab.
I bet you no one has done an entire series on wine burps.
You know, Harm,
You'd be first to
I'm going
market.
to ignore that. Harm, I would agree with you. I think I've had many labels from Plumpjack, but never their Merlot.
Oh, I sell the hell out of the Merlot. I tell people all the time, you guys buy the Merlot.
I like
And
their
their and we love their Chard.
I
Yeah.
love their Chard, and I love their Cab.
Well, they're known for the cab. I'm glad we got to taste the Merlot today. But
I'll
today
tell you
we
what,
got another wine.
I got a lot of nice Dariouche Merlot. I should have would have nice to try one.
I haven't
side
had
by
that Dariouche
side.
Merlot in years.
I've got several at home. We need to crack a few.
We'll have to put that
Well,
on the
let's
show.
go to our next wine. We're going to have Harm tell us about that.
Well, thank you, Bob. Chappellet Signature Napa Valley Cabernet Sauvignon 2021 is our next wine. So this is the Signature line. It's less expensive than their high-end Pritchard Hill stuff, which I freaking love. But this is also a great
This is not
value.
inexpensive. This is
It's not inexpensive. It used
appropriately
to be.
priced.
It's appropriately priced, but before the fires in Napa Valley, this was a lot cheaper. 14.7% ABV, 79% Cabernet Sauvignon, 8% Petit Verdot, 7% Malbec, 6% Merlot. Dry rock soils of Pritchard Hill produce small, intensely flavored grapes. The crop thinning allows for full, even ripening and elevates the flavor complexity. The 2021 growing season began with one of the driest winters in the record, with a mild spring and summer resulting in a limited canopy growth and very small berries, which means intense flavor, and that's what we got here. The color is a beautifully opaque ruby with violet edges. This wine, even though it's a 2021, is already coming into its own, and the nose is intensely fruity and herbal. And we've only got a few seconds left for the next commercial, so I don't know where to stop here. But I've got cassis, black cherry, I've got mint, the French vanilla. There's spices coming out, cloves, cardamom. This is just amazing. The palate is full of dark berries and spice.
And we'll be
we've got
back.
a commercial.
Hey, we're back, and Harm was waxing poetic about the Chappellet signature.
I need to speed up.
Napa
We've got
Cab.
3 wines after this. I'm sorry.
We got time. Don't worry about
All
it.
right, so beautiful dark fruit, cassis, mint is coming out on the nose, we're on the palate now. Blackberries, just cassis and blackberry. A hint of acidity, maybe it's almost raspberry, but I don't know. Chocolate. There's a spice coming out, kind of licoricey. A little bit of clove, and the finish is infinitely long. And this is their cheap one. I mean, even though their cheap one is not cheap,
I was going to say, I wouldn't say cheap. This is
But
their less expensive
this is
one
their
than
less
Pritchard
expensive.
Hill.
Like, the Pritchard Hill is like $300,
Yeah.
$250 to $300, whatever.
Worth every
maybe
dime,
$400.
but yeah.
yeah, depending on the vintage. Those are 100-point wines. The lowest I've ever seen a score from Parker from that is like 96 or something like that.
Yeah.
The ones he signs are pretty good.
Yeah.
And we tell you, the Vineyard,
And you guys got to visit the vintage.
The Vineyard is
January.
absolutely
Yeah.
I hate
stunning.
you.
It is
So jealous.
beautiful.
So jealous. Oh my God.
We got to meet Cyril Chappellet.
Yeah, that was pretty
Yeah.
cool. He's a nice guy.
But you didn't get any Pritchard Hill from Cyril.
Not yet.
Coming. Coming.
I love We've done Pritchard Hill on the show before, I believe, right?
No.
Really?
We've done
Coming.
Jefferson's Ocean aged in Pritchard Hill.
Barrels.
Barrels.
Yeah. Oh, so I love Pritchard. That's one of my favorite wines in the world. And I mean, this is no different. This is the baby version, but oh my God, this is good.
But I'll
Maury,
tell
what do
you
think?
something that I learned today, that all of this is produced on Pritchard Hill. The Pritchard Hill label represents their tête de cuvée.
I didn't realize it was
top of the
100%
line.
Pritchard. I thought there was some Valley floor fruit
Well,
here too. They're not buying any fruit? This is all,
That
all
I'm not
estate?
sure, but there's these grapes, the majority of this wine is grown at their estate on Pritchard Hill.
Okay.
It tells you right on the label, estate grown.
Oh, so if it's all estate, let me see the label. I've never noticed that before. Is it maybe previous vintages? As well?
So anyway, I'm excited because I love their entry level, as Harm calls it, signature Napa Valley Cabernet, and I would call it their first label. The Pritchard Hill is just their sort of top of the line tête de cuvée, and it's wonderful. And the price has escalated over the years, but again,
all the fires in Napa Valley, the production costs, everything else.
But this wine, as far as cab goes, the only thing missing today is a nice thick ribeye. Bob, if you loved us, you'd have served ribeye alongside this.
Instead, we got a Publix Italian sub. Come on,
that's
man.
right. I
I've got one in the fridge at home, all grilled.
You knuckleheads and held that like you've never seen food, please.
That's true. We don't appreciate Bob. He does feed us,
Yeah, I would say Harm,
but not steak.
You nailed it on the palate and the nose. Again, it's luscious. It's mouth coating. There's a lot of spice, dark berries, some espresso, a little bit of tobacco, and the finish just goes on and on. This is my jam. I think this is delicious. As I said, there's only one thing missing, and that's a nice big juicy steak. But unlike the Pritchard Hill, this I think you could drink by itself.
Yeah.
I think that
Pritchard Hill has to have food.
The bigger wines really are food wines.
I think you're making a mistake. I think you're drinking them too young. Pritchard Hill is built to age 10 to 20 years.
Oh God, yeah.
You're drinking them too young.
Oh, well, this is true. I'm talking about an appropriately aged one, though. Those wines benefit from food, and you're right. They benefit from much more cellar aging.
It's hard to hold that stuff that long.
I know.
Justin, what do you think?
Well, I can't add to anything everybody said other than the wine belch is pure aloe.
We're going to do a wine burp show next.
I'm just going to throw the
beer
notes in
guys
as they come.
The beer guys' ratings are burps. If you ever listen to the beer shows, their ratings are burps.
We're far more
It's the
classy
poor
than
man's
that.
retronasal exhale. It's the wine burp.
Bob, can you give us a rating or give us a
Well, there's
review?
not much else I can say about this one, so we're going to be giving the Chappellet Signature Napa Valley Cabernet Sauvignon 2021 a well-deserved 4 sips.
That's classified.
Almost to
It's
a 5.
almost a 5.
Almost. Not
It's
quite.
a millimeter.
And you know
away.
what? I'm getting rose petal now. getting
Yeah,
rose
on the
petal.
finish.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
It's getting floral. God,
Yeah.
this wine just
That's
evolves.
the burp. It's the wine burp, that brought up the rose petal.
He said it was aloe.
I absolutely
aloe.
love Chappellet, and I've never had one that didn't fit with me. I mean, they're always excellent. So, let's go
And
on
this
to our
one
next
I've seen at Costco. You can find this at Costco.
Don't say things about Costco. I'm sitting right here, Maury.
So let's go on to our next wine. We're going to have Maury tell us about
Other
that one.
states and cities. All right. Thank you, Bobby Joe. Next, we'll be speaking about Sequoia Grove Winery and its 24-acre estate, which were part of the original Rancho Camus land grant given in 1836 to George Yount, the area's first European-American pioneer. Over the years, the property changed hands until it was purchased in 1978 by James and Barbara Allen. The following year, the duo opened a winery in a 100-year-old barn beneath a grove of sequoia trees, and so Sequoia Grove was born. The first wine is the Sequoia Grove Napa Valley Cabernet Sauvignon 2021, 14.9% ABV, 81% Cabernet Sauvignon, 9% Cabernet Franc, 7% Merlot, 2% Malbec, 1% Petit Verdot, aged 18 months in French oak, 60% of which is new. The fruit was hand-picked and the berries were hand-sorted before and after the destemmer. The juice went through a 1 to 3 day cold soak to settle the solids before inoculation with a unique French yeast strain. Pump overs were executed daily to fine-tune and extract the rich color and tannins from the skins. After fermentation, the wine was moved to barrel to initiate malolactic fermentation in French oak and was racked 2 to 3 times before bottling and extended aging. Wow. So this wine has a deep, dark, inky purple color. On the nose, a lot of fruit, a lot of cobbler, plum, blackberry, a little bit of black currant, hint of vanilla. On the palate, it's rich, it's viscous, it's mouth coating. The tannins are a little bit tight, but they've opened up over time. Oxygen and aeration, time in the glass has definitely done it well. There's definitely hints of dark cocoa, a little bit of Rutherford dust in there on the back end. The finish is medium. I think it's a very nice wine. It's well made. It's definitely improved with time.
No, it's
I
gotten
think
a lot better.
Exactly. And I think it will continue to improve with time in the bottle. This is young. And I think this wine would be best revisited in at least 5 years, and be sure to aerate it well upon opening. Justin, what do you think?
So I got like sweet berries followed by the signature Rutherford dust. The finish, it was nice ripe berries with signature dryness at the end. And even the belch had fruit following. So it was very consistent with the regular palate.
Don't pitch the spinoff till we get money. Anyway,
I'm a giver.
there you go. Bob, what do you think?
I think this was excellent. I really enjoyed this wine. Blackberries, black currants. There's a little bit of fresh tobacco
There's
in
a
it.
little bit of incense.
There's
sandalwood.
definitely a little incense and sandalwood. Definitely.
And you know what? This wine,
All the way in the back.
Bob, before the show, when we were tasting the review, Bob and Justin loved this wine. Maury and I were the naysayers. Mm-hmm. This wine has really evolved.
It's gotten
Come
better
along.
for sure.
So much.
Come along.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just,
We knew you would.
It's really opened up. Again,
But it's taken longer than some.
yeah. Well, it's a baby. This one's built to go. So
Yeah.
I mean, I aerated this twice in the flip decanter, twice in the Venturi, and still.
And I did an extra time in the Venturi
and
and
it's
still
been
wasn't
sitting
ready.
in the bottle with the corks out since 10 a.m. So this thing needs time. But once it gets the time,
They don't know what time it is, Bob.
absolutely
It's
delicious.
4:25 p.m. now.
It's wine time.
The conceit is we do this at 2 a.m. We don't do
Raspberries.
this at 2 a.m.
Raspberries and black cherries.
that out.
Giving away all our secrets.
Dark fruit.
Next thing you
There's-
know, we're
there's
not in the
Behind the
basement.
curtain.
There's that powdery, dark cocoa, Rutherford dusty kind of back end to it. I love it. I think it's absolutely delicious. What do you think, Harm?
I already mentioned. I already talked about it, dude. This wine. I wanted to say no. This is it. I got so much better. We got to increase the score. Yeah.
All right. Well, we're gonna give the Rutherford Grove Napa Valley Cabernet Sauvignon 2021 4 sips.
Absolutely.
That's classified.
And that was a big jump. Honestly, I was
Literally,
well below that.
Maury was like, "This is a 2." But we had to really breathe.
It has really, really evolved.
Yeah.
It was so that sandalwood note was a surprise.
All right. Well, we're gonna go to our next one, and we're gonna have Justin tell us about that. And we were drinking some of this about 2 weeks ago at the winery, actually, the Tonella.
Okay. So the next one we're talking about is the Sequoia Grove Napa Valley Rutherford Tonella Vineyard 2019. It's 14.9% alcohol by volume, 75% Cab Sauvignon, 24% Cabernet Franc, 1% Petit Verdot, aged 20 months in premium French oak, and 75% of it's
Most
new.
of those, what, Best Buy?
No
French
wonder
oak?
I love
Correct.
this wine so much. 24% Cab Franc.
We
Love
I didn't read the because
Love Cab
you were
Franc.
assigned to read the note. I didn't read
Love
that.
Cab
And
Franc.
it's got 3 or 4 more years of age than all the others.
That's true. That's true. Go ahead.
That's why it was the best.
So the fruit was hand picked and berries were hand sorted before and after the destemmer. The juice went through a 3-day cold soak to settle the solids before
I feel
inoculation.
like I've heard this before. Is this the exact same thing as the last wine?
I don't know. And it was inoculated with a unique
He's
French
plagiarizing
yeast
my
strain.
words.
Pump overs were executed daily to fine tune the extract the rich color and tannins from the skins. After fermentation, the wine was moved to barrel initiate malolactic fermentation in
In
French,
French
oak.
oak and was
Racked 2 to 3 times before bottling and extended aging.
I'm reading the previous notes. I'm on a different page.
Each barrel was individually selected for this blend. For the first time ever, this wine is unfiltered to give maximum site expression and minimal winemaker intervention. So this wine was really, really good. What did you think, Harm?
all that reading, and that's what he got. Okay, great.
Berries, almonds. I got on the nose. I'm getting tons of mint and blackberry, chocolate, a little bit of coffee, There's some umami thing coming on there. I'm not sure what that is.
Umami.
It's a big, dense floral wine with the floral notes and those umami notes have been coming for the Cab Franc. This is just beautiful. I love this blend.
This wine benefited the most from aeration through the Venturi immediately. The other wines actually caught up to it. They just needed time and air and time. But this wine went dramatically from a 2 to a 4 in my mind, just through the Venturi.
I don't know.
Maybe even higher, but immediately through the Venturi, it went up. I think you're right, Bob. I think the Cab Franc really adds an amazing dimension to this wine. I haven't seen.
I'm a freak for Cab Franc.
I have not seen 24% Cab Franc in a long time. That's kind of a nice.
Yeah, you either get 100% Cab Franc or 90%
rarely
Cab
or a
Franc.
teeny little bit. Yeah. No, I think this wine was delicious. I think it was amazing. It's the oldest of the Sequoia groves today at 2019. It's still young, but I think it was drinking beautifully today.
I can't really add much more to that.
I was surprised.
Yeah, fantastic. Again, we're still drinking. I think these things still need so much more time. I mean, just still very, very tight, very, very close, but
You know what
really,
this is?
really up and
This is that teenage surfer that was tragically killed by a great white shark. Way before its time.
The hell are you talking about?
I've been watching shark videos lately.
Spicoli.
Okay.
So it's a teenager.
All right. Well, we're going to give the Sequoia Grove, Napa Valley, Rutherford, Tonella Vineyard 2019 5 sips.
Oh my goodness.
So that brings us to our last wine, which is the Sequoia Grove, Napa Valley, Rutherford Bench Reserve Cabernet Sauvignon Winemaker Series 2019. 14.4% AB, 76% Cab Sauvignon, 14% Cab Franc, 4% Merlot, 3% Petit Verdot, 3% Malbec, 16 months in French oak. I'll skip the rest of the read-in so we can get to the wine.
Bordeaux style grapes, all 5 Bordeaux grapes. Go ahead.
Just inky, dark garnet.
Is it all 5? I think it's 4 of the 5. Okay.
Oh, there's a dried fruit note on
That was all 5.
the nose. On the palate, the tannins are really well, just again, very, very tight, not cloying, not jumping over you, not beating you over the head. Just
Another one we drank too young and didn't give enough air.
yeah. The tannins, once you give it enough air, are just laser precise.
So if you go to a
Cherries.
restaurant and order this for dinner, you can't do that. You have to have them. You have to call the restaurant in advance. Say we're ordering this. Decant this now.
Cherries, dark
nobody does
berries,
that.
a little bit of a dry dust, a little bit of a dry cocoa. What'd you think, Justin?
So this was an enigma wrapped in a conundrum. It was beautiful, intense fruit. The palate was a beautiful ray of sunshine with just the right intensity, closing on a finish that blew me away.
And shout out to Josh Hoover, the assistant winemaker, who we were hanging out with him 2 weeks ago. Fantastic wine. What'd you think, Maury?
Again, you guys have really said it all. I thought the wine was delicious. It's very well made. It's got everything you want in Napa Valley Cabernet. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
More Harm?
I mean, I cannot stress enough that you need to aerate these kind of wines. I've had Sequoia Grove before, and I've always been underwhelmed. But the reason is we've never given it this type of time. You need to aerate these wines. They're babies.
This is a winery that will absolutely surprise you.
Yeah.
100%. And I'm with you. I'd had it before and I thought, okay, pretty decent stuff until we were there a couple weeks ago and we were drinking it there. And
Well, you had from the barrel. You got
yeah,
so it's just you guys are spoiled.
I mean, just amazing, like how much better it was.
That
And
stuff was going to get even better because it was going to age a little more
Yeah.
before they
Yeah.
finally
give
got
it a rating
done.
before you run out of time.
yeah. Well, we're going to give this one the Sequoia Grove Napa Valley Rutherford Bench Reserve Cabernet Sauvignon Winemaker Series 2019 4 sips.
That's classified.
I'm not going to thank you.
Maury and I
Thank
were
me.
like, this is a 2 or a 3.
Yeah.
But
It
sorry.
really
Thank
was.
you,
I
Bob.
admit it. When
Yeah.
it came out of the
I'm
bottle.
not going to thank you. Thank me for coming and
thank
drinking
you,
this
Bob.
good wine. What do you think, Justin?
I had pinkies up for a weekend, man. It was
exactly.
great.
It's a pretty good shot.
Yeah.
So what do you think, Maury?
Another not too shabby day in the basement. Thank
Yeah,
you, Bob,
this does not suck, does it?
helping to procure such amazing offerings.
Harm?
You know, Bob, thank you for having us. If it weren't 2 a.m., I'd take my wife out to dinner with some of these wines.
Not happening.
We hope you enjoyed this episode. If you're listening to us online, do yourself a favor and tap the subscribe button.
Give it a little tappy. Tap, tap, taparoo.
The easiest way to listen to our show is to ask Siri, Alexa, Google, Uncle Larry, or whoever it is that talks to you on your phone. Play podcast Sip, Suds, and Smokes. We love your feedback, and you can reach us at info@sipsudsandsmokes.com. Our tasting notes flow out on Twitter and Instagram with our handle @SipSudsAndSmokes, and our Facebook page is always buzzing with lots of news. You'll also be able to interact with the thousands,
Millions and millions
of other fans on those social media platforms. Do us a favor. Take the time to rate this episode if you're listening to us online. That's a big help to us, and we get to see your feedback as well. Come back, join us for another episode, and keep on sipping.
This has been a One Tan Hand production of Sip, Suds, and Smokes, a program devoted to the appreciation of some of the finer slices of life. From the Dude in the Basement Studios, your hosts, the Good Old Boys, will see you all next time.